Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Sunday Night CNA Weekend Recap. Justin, Josh, coming to you from the Geek Cave as always. And as we've been doing the past couple of weeks, we're going to spend a lot of time tonight talking about the latest episode of Moon Knight on Disney+.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all we have to talk about right now. There's not a lot coming out, unfortunately. You know, you would love to think that COVID built everything up and there's just going to be constant stuff, but it's not really worked out that way, unfortunately.
They're slow playing it because I went to see a movie today. Actually, we'll talk about that after Moon Knight, but they played a trailer for Top Gun. And I feel like I've been watching the trailers for that for 3 years now.
I thought that came out, honest to God, a year and a half ago.
Nope.
Seriously, like, just 100%. Things that I think have come and gone have not even come out. It's just, it's a weird world right now.
They're slow playing shit on us,
yeah.
for sure.
And, I mean, I understand it. I get it. You know, COVID, you want those theater dollars.
Yeah.
But at the same time, stuff is coming out so fast to streaming services.
They are. Movies are not staying in theaters long at all. But we're ramping up. The summer movie season is starting. Just the trailers watching it is like, okay, there's a lot of stuff coming. I mean, it's kicking off with Doctor Strange in just like 3 weeks.
It kind of feels like we might be getting back to a little bit of normality in movies coming out, and I'm excited about it.
Absolutely.
You know, we all love the theaters and being there in that environment.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things that is the best.
Absolutely. Movies are fun. I love watching them at home. I've set up a lot to do that at home, but it's still something about the smell of popcorn and the theater, the joint experience. It's just...
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
And I think that's something that might be lost. And God, I'm going to just age myself right now. Like, on the young kids, they just sit in their theaters and stream things. Whereas, you know, when we were teenagers, we'd go out and watch a movie, you know, maybe with a girl, you know, do your thing and whatever.
We're going to sound like old men when we talk about this, but like, kids don't buy TVs now. They watch their movies on laptops.
Yeah.
With all this trouble of developing a TV that can be 85 inches and you're going to watch it on a laptop?
I understand it. I just, you know, it's all generational, and it's, you know, shake your fist harder, boys.
Get out of my yard.
Unfortunately.
Right.
That's a digression.
We totally digressed here. Moon Knight.
Yes.
That's what we're here to talk about tonight. And the latest episode, this is the third episode of 6 that we're getting, so we're starting to get into the meat of the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Kick us off.
It still has not grabbed me.
Okay.
And I think that's a little bit problematic when you're halfway through the season.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and I watch it, but I don't know. It hasn't...
What do you think it's lacking?
The main character, honestly. I think they have done I was going to say a disgrace, but that's the wrong term. I don't think they have done the DID, multiple personality disorder, the correct service.
Okay.
I think it would have been much better done without establishing this origin story, and that's what they're doing. This show is an origin story for Moon Knight. You know, Mark Spector's Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And we get these other sides of him. And I think they would have been much better off to drop him just in frame, in sequence, he's established, he's Moon Knight, he does this. And you have to accept that sometimes he's Mr. Knight, and sometimes he's Moon Knight, and sometimes he's someone else, you know, helping these people, doing this thing.
You're asking a lot of an audience that's full of 49%ers.
You know what? I don't care anymore. I'm done with origin stories. I'm sick of it. We don't need to see Batman's origin story.
It makes sense with Batman and Spider-Man because the average dumb street-walking bozo that goes into the movie theater already knows the origin story of Spider-Man. They already know the origin story of Batman. Your average comic book fan doesn't even know the story of Moon Knight.
Yeah, but it's different. You can tell an origin story without telling an origin story, okay? That's what I'm saying. You could take a character that no one knows, drop him in the middle, and then, flashbacks, side-alongs, talking to other people. It doesn't have to be this gimmicky. And that's what bugs me. Every time, for example, Spider-Man, we always have to hear Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility.
Right.
You don't have to do that. You can, but you can also tell a completely different story where you get back to that. But it's all established already, and that's what I think that a lot of comic book, Marvel, DC, the adaptations of it, I think that's their weakness, is they don't count on people to understand storytelling, and it just frustrates me.
Rightfully so. They want to make money, and
Yeah.
the average person is too stupid to follow what you're talking about.
I guess it just.
I think that's a cool story. What you're talking about is the kind of thing we loved about Legion.
Yeah, I mean, oh god,
Just this, you're dropped in the middle and you don't know what the fuck is going on. That would be awesome, but it would totally lose your average Disney Plus viewer.
Maybe I had more faith in the average viewer.
Look how few people watch Legion, and it was spectacular.
That was
We bonded over that show, man.
Yeah, that shows how we basically became best friends.
Yes.
But I just, with Disney Plus now, people are watching these shows because they're just coming out. They didn't know who the fuck Wanda was when WandaVision came out. Loki
and
had been established.
Weird strike, which we loved, turned a lot of people off.
I
had to reintroduce it to someone just recently that wasn't a big fan of it to begin with. And I mean, because at first you're like, what the hell's going on?
I think at this point, Disney has to kind of make a choice. You
want them to swing for the fences.
Yeah, I do. I want them to go hard. I really do. Because they've got established viewers. They've got people like us, and we're the nerdiest motherfuckers in the world. We'll watch whatever they put out. Yeah, exactly. But they've also pulled other people in, normies and weirdos, as far as I'm concerned, who will watch everything.
Yeah.
And so just swing for the fences.
I mean,
do it.
Awesome.
Just try. You know what? You've never failed, Marvel. At this point, you still haven't. One won't end you. Yeah. Try.
One thing that's disappointed me is that Feige teased this as the hardcore version of Marvel. This is going to be the most hardcore, brutal take on Marvel character we'd seen in the MCU. I'm not seeing that.
No, this is not in that at all.
You say that and know that Daredevil exists in the same universe? That's a big fucking claim, dude. You better back that up, and it hasn't been. There's been no hallway fight scenes.
God, still the best. God, that's just I'm going there. I mean, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, fuck. Iron Fist. They've all had darker scenes than anything
we're not
getting
Moon Knight. It's almost too playful. The stuff with Khonshu.
Yeah. We came in expecting kind of like Dark Knight first year Batman, basically. And they always compare Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman. It's not. Yeah, it is. But what we've seen, he beat the hell out of a jackal that nobody else can see in the bathroom. That's the most hardcore scene we've seen yet.
And he took the jackal and stabbed him on that peak.
I don't even think that was just, doing what he had to do.
That's all we've gotten. The other violence has been, chopped away because it was going from Steven to Mark, and we missed that time.
Yeah. So I don't know. Moon Knight is not living up to expectations. And
could go an interesting place now, though, with Khonshu being bottled up in the rock. Opportunity for more personalities to arise.
And we have discussed that.
Yeah.
You want to share?
I think they hinted previous episodes that there's probably a third personality living in the body. Someone that asked that girl out on a date, someone that was buying new goldfish, somebody trying to keep the lights on, essentially.
Yeah.
And then we got the bigger hint in this episode that all these people were dead. Mark is like, "What did you do, Steven?" Steven says, "It wasn't me."
Yeah.
Which kind of confirms there's a third personality out there.
Yeah, and I've read some things about it was Khonshu taking over. Khonshu doesn't take over the body. That's not his piece. He's the these are.
I'm
his
not sure.
avatars.
Yeah, that kind of breaks the Avatar rules.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a third personality, and that has always been a big part of Moon Knight. He has multiple personalities, not just one or two, but 3 or 4, depending on who's writing them.
Right.
Multiple ones.
So we talked about this right before the show. The way this is going with the introduction of all these the gods, the Egyptian gods in this episode, and knowing that Gore the God Butcher is coming in Thor, and knowing that we don't have a Love and Thunder trailer yet, do you think that there's a potential for some type of lead up, even if it's just an after credit stinger for Love and Thunder that's keeping them from dropping that trailer?
I really don't know because, like I've talked about before, the Norse gods in Marvel are not, they've never portrayed them as true gods. The difference between science and magic is so close, but what we see in Moon Knight is clearly magic. I mean, it's supernatural.
Right.
Hardcore. And I think, I'd love this scene where they had that tribunal with the Egyptian gods, judging both of them. And we very well could see something where, Gore is coming through and just wiping out gods.
Gore wasn't just going for Norse gods.
No, he wasn't.
Gore made it his goal. He was, his life was taken from him. The people he loved was taken from him, and he wondered why the gods didn't intervene. So he started to believe there wasn't gods, and then he met a god, and it confirmed the existence of them. Mm-hmm. And he kind of made it his goal in life to wipe out the universe of gods.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting because Feige said, I think a year or two ago, that no longer could you not watch the shows that they were going to tie into the movies. Mm-hmm. So this could be that first big statement of Gore the God Killer, is coming into the shows and leading into the movies. This might be the first time we see that transition where you have to watch this now to understand.
Like WandaVision did that with Doctor Strange.
It did, yeah. I mean,
if you don't know anything about what happened in WandaVision, you go into Doctor Strange, all the conversations that even what we've seen teased in the trailer would make no fucking sense.
And that's fair. It's just, I don't know.
Nobody's called her Scarlet Witch outside of that TV show.
That's true. Yeah. So, I don't know what we're going into.
The Children, the Darkhold.
Yeah. Just the multiverse in general.
Yeah.
Was all established in the TV shows.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's just, it's going to be interesting what they do going forward.
So 3 more episodes to catch your interest, but we're going to watch them anyway.
Of course. It's got my interest. Certainly. Oscar Isaacs, I love him. He's a great actor. Everything he's done.
I'm enjoying his portrayals of the 2 different characters. The Steven character annoys me.
Yeah,
and I think that's good actor. He's kind of an annoying guy, so I'm enjoying that. The 2 different characters, and I hope to see more. One of my favorite performances in all of Hollywood is McAvoy in Split.
Yeah,
the opportunity that he has here is an amazing opportunity for an actor to get to portray all of these different roles and succinct.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. Playing against himself is always one of those things that's very interesting.
Definitely.
When you dissect roles with actors, and he can do it, and he's done a marvelous job of it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what this third personality is, every time. I would like to point out one thing, and maybe I'm insane, but you remember that scene where he was fighting the 3 Egyptian guys, who had knives coming at him and, licking his blades and whatnot. There was a young kid.
Uh-huh.
That was Rufio from Peter Pan. Not the actor, not the character, but the exact design. He had a red mohawk, like the whole jacket thing. I'm just saying. I think Disney knew what they were doing. Maybe I'm crazy. We can watch it again when we finish up the show.
Yeah, you gotta show me. I missed it.
But dude, he looked. Every moment I was like, Ruby, oh. But it was too much.
Disney's doing a lot of that now, where they're kind of rolling. You know, in one of the earlier Disney Plus Marvel shows, they jumped through a bunch of universes, and we saw Mustafar.
Yeah.
So kind of a confirmation that Star Wars exists within the Marvel universe.
Like I said, I could be looking at that entirely wrong, but that was my first thought. Was that
you gotta show me?
Yeah, I will when we finish up.
Well, we'll talk about next week's Moon Knight. Hopefully, it picks up in the next 3 episodes. That's kind of been how it is in these 6-episode shows. Is it really starts to build in 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6. So we'll see where it goes.
Well, I don't think we need to finish up yet. Honestly, like, how do you feel about this episode and this kind of like map hunt? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No.
You know.
I mean, it's a kind of a trope we know.
Yeah.
It was fun. It didn't bother me as much as we know it bothered Ken, because Ken is really bothered by tropes.
Yeah.
You know, the compass leading somewhere is certainly a trope we've seen a lot.
Yeah. No, I think one of the things was it was very Indiana Jones-ish, you know?
Yeah.
Like these clues, and he was with a former love interest who was angry at him and all of that. And, you know, considering it's under Disney's umbrella.
Disney owns that now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I was thinking about, you know, the whole time. And just, I don't know. I think that's part of why it bothers me that I'm not completely on board yet, is what they've done so far is just kind of reiterating things they've done before.
And that's a danger when you've had, 34 properties in the MCU now.
God, yeah, at this point.
I mean, that you're gonna start getting repetitive.
Yeah.
Which is why they have to swing for the fences, to your point.
And I think they should, you know, even if you miss, whatever.
Do you think that's Latveria?
No, I don't think it is. I didn't
at first, but some TikTokers have definitely made me reconsider it. That castle looks a lot like Castle Doom.
Okay, well, explain that. I mean, for those that don't know, the theory is that Ethan Hawke's character is Dr. Doom in this show. And
either that or Doom is behind all of this, one or the other.
Yeah. So, tell us.
Well, you know, Doom is from Latveria, which is an Eastern European country. In that first episode, Stephen wakes up in an Eastern European country at the foot of a castle, and when they pan out from that castle, eerily similar to Castle Doom from the comics. There were some other things that you put me on the spot. And I can't think.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
There's some other things that have kind of hinted that maybe Ethan Hawke isn't Doom, but that there's a Doom tie-in.
Yeah,
we know he's coming.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It'd be great if we introduce him before the Fantastic Four movie.
Mm-hmm.
We also in the truck. The chase scene, which is the first episode as well.
Yeah.
When they're in that country, that truck has a box behind it, and when he rocks, the box comes forward enough for you to see Doom Inda.
I did not know that.
So that would assume Doom Industries.
Yeah.
Victor Von Doom introduced right there.
So maybe we're getting, you know, intros into his supernatural side of things, because Doom is both, you know, technical and magical at the same time.
Yeah.
So
and he may be pulling the strings. He may have, you know, Harrow in his pocket and wanting to see how this plays out. I mean, Doom is a chess player of proportions.
He's one of the top villains in the Marvel Universe, 100%. So,
by the way, Walmart just put out a Doom gallery statue, limited edition. Got it in the mail today. It's beautiful. Go pick it up if you can.
Oh, good. We're pouring out for Walmart.
We're pouring for Walmart.
I'm fine.
It's really just the statue. It's awesome. Because I need more of them.
Yeah, clearly you don't have open spaces, obviously.
We'll move some shit around. All right. Before we let the show go, I did mention that I went to the movies today. I went and saw the latest in the Harry Potter world, This is the Fantastic Beast, the third one in the series. It's the Secrets of Dumbledore, and I loved it. Everyone was wondering how Mads Mikkelsen would do replacing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. It changed the entire tone of the movie. This same director, David Yates, that's done Harry Potter 7 and 8, and he's done all of these, but it changed the tone completely. Mads totally delivered the villain that I thought Johnny Depp kind of failed at. So just right off the bat, Mads is incredible. I love Jude Law as Dumbledore, and this was all about exploring everything we'd always wondered about Dumbledore's past, from the death of his sister to his relationship with his brother to his relationship with Gellert Grindelwald. All of that explored masterfully. We still get cool stuff with Newt and the Fantastic Beasts. We get to see more of that relationship between Queenie and Kowalski, who's my favorite character. It's a great movie. It's my favorite in the Fantastic series.
Nice.
I cannot suggest it enough. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope it does really good this weekend.
I can't wait to see it. I've enjoyed them incredibly, and Mads Mikkelsen is probably my favorite actor right now who's working constantly. Haven't seen it yet, so I can't speak to it, but I trust my boy's review of it, so go see it.
Yeah, I was kind of iffy on the last one. I didn't necessarily like the way it ended and the way it's set up, but they took that and they ran with it, and the Queenie stuff is fleshed out in this, and the Dumbledore stuff is just beautifully fleshed out. I really love this movie. It had me excited to be back in that Harry Potter world.
And I mean, it's a great world that they can expand so much.
They really can.
And I think that's what they should do with it, is just cut loose with it.
We'll see how this video game goes. I think that a lot could be determined by how the world accepts a video game in that magical world that has nothing to do with Harry Potter. It's set in like the late 1800s. Mm-hmm. So completely different setting. We'll see if that works. I think the doors opened up for TV shows and comic books and all kinds of things.
Yeah, and I think it should be. It's a great world. We love the mythology. We understand it. Mostly, they tack stuff on, but
it's a huge property. And now that Discovery owns Warner Brothers, I'm sure they're going to want to start pulling those properties out and doing something.
Yeah, and they should.
Yep, absolutely. Anything else? You into anything?
No, just the usual masturbation and killing myself.
I was about to say porn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we say it at the end of every show, and it's really turning out to be awesome right now to be a geek and be alive. There's so much cool shit to do. Doctor Strange is coming in just a few weeks. Get out there and do something geeky, and as always, come talk to us about it on CNA. Excelsior.
Complete nerve authority.